This group has to come together for our people. We are elected on behalf of our people to provide opportunities and to improve the quality of our lives today and for our future generations. The Northern First Nations Alliance is a group of Northern First Nations leaders that have come together in order to establish a table where we can provide real solutions for our members that are in our communities when it comes to mental health, addictions, housing. We all share the same common issues when it comes to resources, and to be able to establish a table that can work together, that wants to provide real solutions for our members.
The Northern First Nations Alliance began with 6 Tsimshian communities and extended itself to Haisla, Nisga'a, and is open to seeing Gitxsan and other communities come and join the table.
I appreciate the Alliance for coming together the way they have, because it's bringing together First Nations in the North to begin to work together and to address common goals, common issues, and common concerns.
So I believe some of the challenges that each of our First Nations experience are a lack of resources. So for example, mental health. Haisla, us in particular, have been looking and trying to fill positions and vacancies when it comes to mental health and addictions issues in our community, and have not been able to establish any type of programming that's consistent and member focused. So the nations coming together, and many of the nations such as Kitkatla, experience the same difficulties. As other projects that we're working on together are housing. Off reserve, we don't only serve the members that are in our communities. We serve our membership regardless of where they reside.
So today we gathered together to work on the housing feasibility project for the Thornhill lands in Terrace, BC. We're looking at developing affordable housing accessible to local First Nations.
The LNG projects that are taking place, coupled with the modernization of the Rio Tinto Alcan project, are bringing not only a whole bunch of money, jobs, opportunity to the area, but it's bringing a lot of housing demand. In other words, a lot of people are moving here, looking for a place to live, and there's not enough housing.
The origin of the housing feasibility study came about through a focus on employment training. We have many people coming through our door looking to seek employment, especially employment at the LNG project. And it's a common activity that we'll look at what barriers are in play keeping people from securing employment. The number one barrier that's been coming up has been affordable or any kind of housing.
My project is an initial step. It's basically taking idea and interest in affordable housing off reserve in the Terrace area, and having a good first deep look at it so we can see can we afford to do it? Are there partners out there that can make it feasible or affordable? And what's the best path forward? Another real issue is that demand is really just starting to hit. You know, we're not into major construction on these projects yet, and yet we've seen real estate prices double in the last 10 years, and we're seeing really massive increases in rental rates in the Terrace area. There's also the issue that if you're marginalized person, if you're typically also Indigenous, there's a higher chance that you're going to be evicted or not be able to afford your rent. So yeah, there's a lot of pressure arriving here, and we're not even into the real meat of it yet. You know, once the projects get to major construction, it's expected that not only the major projects, but all the spin-off contractors and subcontractors and government agencies that will want to be here for the project. They're going to bring an additional 1,400 families to the Terrace area over the next 7 years.
The Alliance members as of today are Kikatla, Nishka, Kitsim-Kalim, Kitsalis, and Haisla.
What we see with the Alliance is bringing together communities, bringing together First Nations communities in particular, because it's important for First Nations to be aware of and to stay informed with what's going on.
So there will be a real need to have First Nations working together to increase the chance of success for this project. So any other Alliance members that want to bring their sort of political clout, that's really important because we need to sort of have a united voice going forward to the other levels of government.
The last few sessions where the Northern First Nations Alliance came together, we saw a lot of strength in a common vision. People are really resonating with what each other are promoting as issues for their communities and wanting to see change. And we're seeing a lot of cooperation. People are really focused on what can we do to beat this together? Like, how can we win this?
I think it's important to really move forward in a way that will bring the First Nations, continue to bring the First Nations together, because it's important for the well-being of all of our communities. We have so much common issues, common goals that impact us. The biggest one is we all have the common goal of improving the quality of life of our people.
I think one of the major benefits that we've seen so far in the work is that the communities are rallying together to work together. They're focused on common problems and coming up with solutions that are strong because they're working together.
We have so many organizations that have been formed and essentially don't provide real tangible results in our communities for us today. And we are looking to be very action-oriented and providing those results.